This week we're at a new campground called Secluded Waterfall Haven. We'd never been here before, and this place is awesome. I had really high expectations because we read lots of great reviews and we have some friends that have camped here. This place exceeded all expectations and it's huge. So I'm going to show you around and some of the stuff that we did at Secluded Waterfall Haven, just a spot that we found online and added it to our list of camping trips this summer. The pavilion area, we're going to do a quick walk down to the bathroom and a waterfall down here. But as you can see, the path to the bathroom right down here is nice and wide, pretty easy to get through. You could probably drive through if you're having to bring an RV or something through here that you parked. But one of the benefits is there's lights along the way. So there's a street light right there, and there's another street light right here as you walk down at night, so you're not going to be walking down in the dark, and the bathroom's far enough away from anything that it's not going to make up there smell. But there is running water and real toilets, and right here is all of this open space. There are lots of rocks to play on, lots of big trees. There's a really steep road up there. It's like a power company maintenance road. But so here we have areas where you could put tents over there. It's nice and flat. You could put tents right here. There's a flat area down there, but I assume that's where like the drainage field is for the septic tank because they are real running toilets. But behind the toilets right here are a waterfall. So let's check out the bathrooms real quick and then we'll go back here and check out this really cool waterfall. It has two bathrooms and both bathrooms are very clean and very nice. So I'll show you one real quick. But you can tell that they put care into their campground because everything is in working order, nice and clean, trash cans, clean toilets, sinks, toilet paper, everything is very useful, and this obviously makes our whole family happy. And there's plenty of room on this campground, but behind here is another waterfall, and so we'll look at that one real quick. So here's the waterfall that's behind the toilets. It definitely lives up to the name of Secluded Waterfall Haven. There are 3 or 4 really awesome waterfalls here, so we'll show you the waterfalls at this campsite. So here's the view from the top of a little hill. You're going to drive in right here and you pull up, and there's a nice fire pit area right here. We put our tent right here, but there's a covered area right here where we did all of our cooking, and then right here there's another covered area, and it has a whole bunch of picnic tables and outlets and lights and everything that you would need. So that's really cool to have. We had perfect weather, but if you had rain or anything, the main areas are covered and they have power and water that run to them. So one nice thing is they have an area with a sink and they have running water out here. So here's the sink, some running water, there's a hose that comes out there. One thing that was really useful is that there are tables everywhere. There's this giant table here that was next to the sink, and there's picnic tables just kind of scattered throughout. There's some right next to the creek, so you can sit there and listen to the water. There's a whole bunch of them under the covered eating area. There's just picnic tables and tables everywhere, which really is helpful, especially if you have a huge group of people. We only have 4, so it's not that big of a deal, but we really liked having them. My wife is like, her favorite part is all the tables that are out here. So here's the area for the campfires. Nice benches all around. There's some wood that you can pay for. And then you have the fire there. There's nice tables everywhere. So my wife just loves that there's tables everywhere. We put our tent right here just because it was kind of close to everything. If you come right over here, then you have a really cool covered area. And the benefit of this is it has lights. So when we got here in the dark, that was really helpful. We have lights, more tables where everything can be nice and neat. And there's even running water to the area right here, which is very useful. You don't have to go very far for water. So they've definitely shown some care in setting all of this up. And at least right now, there's a grill and some stuff that was left for it. And then under here is like a big charcoal area. If you're gonna cook some stuff here with have a big group of people, that'd be a lot of fun. You could cook some hot dogs and just kind of have this nice covered area. So that's really nice. This is the pavilion that has all of the picnic tables, which has light. But one really cool thing is there are outlets all along here. So I didn't really know when we were coming if there would be outlets, but there are outlets everywhere right there. And there's just a whole bunch of outlets all the way through here and all around the campground. So you don't really have to worry about plugging things in. There's also a big outlet for an RV or a camper. We don't have that, but there's also one of those. I don't even know what you would call it. But so there's the other place, there's the other pavilion right there, but it's all centrally located right here, which makes it really nice, especially if you have groups of people. But everything covered is what we really like. And there's a lot of cool little bears that are around here. And I've always been a fan of wood carved bears. Here's one of the small waterfalls that's right behind the camping area. This is the one that you hear the whole time. There's a lot of water right now. It's the fall. And if you go up even more, there's more waterfalls up there that I'm showing you right now. It's pretty cool. So in the summer, this would be a lot of fun. A lot of swimming areas, especially this little sliding rock right here would be fun. And then right here, there's a little area where it gets a little bit deeper. And so this is pretty cool, I think, where if you were just chilling, hanging out, kids could hang out right here. It's not too deep. And then there's rocks that go all that way. But this is the waterfall that's behind the little pavilion right there. And the pavilion right there that has all of the picnic tables in it. And right here is another table. So one of the things I've said is we like all the tables. And there are tables everywhere. So everywhere you go, there are tables. The next thing we're going to explore is the largest waterfall on the premises. And this one takes a little bit of a hike. You have to climb this path to get up to the waterfall. It's not too bad, but there's definitely parts that can be very steep. And you can see it's kind of that white area right there that I'm pointing at. So it's a little bit of a ways to get up there. This is as we were coming back down. But there are lots of leaves on the ground, so it made it a little bit slippery when we were there in the fall. But as you can see, when you get up to the waterfall, it's absolutely huge. So take a second and check this out. It sounds awesome. And we hung out up here for about 20 minutes, kind of climbed around on the rocks. I was surprised how much water was coming down because it was the fall and it had been fairly dry. This is a little bit after the hurricane. And I went on Google Earth and I saw that it's coming from around a golf course retaining pond up in the mountain. So just something to think about. But that does make it so that there's a decent amount of water that's coming down the whole time. But it was definitely cool, definitely kind of cold for this time of year. But if you're at the campground, it's definitely worth making the hike all the way to the top. You know, as long as you're careful going up and down, you should be all right. So some of the things that we really like about this campsite are how easy it is to get to, and it feels really safe. There is a gate that locks when you are in the campground, so you need to get the code and unlock the gate, and you get in and you can lock it behind you. And we've never felt unsafe back here, didn't have any issues. We met some really cool people that are on the road. There's a little church right there. We talked to a bunch of people. They were all super nice. They gave us a tour. It was really cool. We really liked that. But I also just like talking to people. And one of the things that's also really nice is we came at night and they have big lights everywhere on all the poles. And so I think the water is reflecting in my face. And as you come in late, all those poles are like street lights that turn on when they get dark, but you could turn them off. And so it gets really dark back here, but having all those lights would really just, it made it easy to unpack, get everything that we needed, cook dinner, put up our tent, and have everything ready to go. Both of the pavilions have lights in them, light bulbs, and enough light that makes it easy. So if you have a big group of people, it would be really nice to be there with the light. We're here in the fall, and so it gets dark early, so all those lights are definitely more helpful this time of year. And there are multiple waterfalls. We went up to the big waterfall. You have to climb up quite a steep hill But once you get to the top, you see this amazing waterfall. I think it's Mud Creek is the creeks that are right here. And the waterfall was awesome. We thought we saw it about halfway up, and then the youngest kid was like, no, it's further up. And he pointed, you could see it through the trees. And so we went up a little bit further, and then you just saw this magnificent waterfall. And the lady who owns the area, or who we interacted with, mentioned the trail and said it was a moderate hike up there, and she's right to get up there. So it takes a little bit of work, but definitely worth it. One of the other things that we like is that there's water to both of the pavilions. Just makes it really nice, and that they're covered, so if you have weather or anything, it would be nice. You don't have to worry about all that. And then the bathrooms were clean. There is a nice little swing. The kids spent quite a bit of time playing on the swing, and so that was really nice. Also, the town of Dillard is not very far away, and then there's an Ingles, which is a grocery store, for the people who don't know, about 11 minutes away. So we went there, got some taco stuff. We're having tacos tonight. As you can see, tacos are an easy thing to cook, easy to put together, nothing too fancy about it, but it's become one of our go-to camping meals because all you really have to do is bring meat and cheese, and those fit in the cooler. But there's also the town of Clayton, and that has, I think that's what it's called, has everything you need, Chick-fil-A, grocery store. So that's important if you need to go do that. It would make a good like home base if you're going to go visit different areas. We're going to go visit Helen for a couple days after here, and that's about 2 hours or about an hour away, I believe. So that'll be a nice time just to hang out. Also, there is no cell phone coverage out here, which is why we walked down the road a little bit when I met all the people, as I was just looking for some cell phone coverage so I could send a few messages. And so they were all like, oh, that's a cool camping spot up there. And so we talked a lot, but yeah, I had to walk a little bit to get a cell phone. So I would get a little bit of a bar once in a while, but I could never actually send or receive anything out here until I maybe walked 100 feet down the road a little bit. So something to be aware of, that there is spotty cell phone service, she said. But really I had spotty, but it didn't even work. We are between two of the mountains. That's really cool. But everything here has been very well maintained. We hope to leave it better than we got it. And everything has been an absolutely wonderful trip for us this week. And so we have a few more trips coming up. And now my oldest is going to tell you his favorite part of this campground.
My favorite thing about Hidden Waterfall Haven is the huge area that you can bring your friends with, because how big it is. And there's also 3 bathrooms that all have electricity. And there's lights like everywhere for nighttime, and you can just light up this entire area. They're dim at first, but then they get really bright. And there's also one like tiny waterfall if you like come right here, and then there's one huge waterfall, like I mean massive waterfall, if you take a little hike. It is a tough hike to get there, but it's definitely worth it. It's so fun. And those are my favorite things about Hidden Waterfall Haven. Bye.